Boys and girls, let me tell you something. Here's my chicken. Here's my chicken. And I know somebody is going to say, what in the world is she doing? Well, I just found out. I was inquiring about something. And, damn, it said to soak the chicken in vinegar. I didn't know, but I'm going to try it. I should have did this before. I didn't realize it was closed. But let's do this, boys and girls. Ooh, these hands are mine. I'm gonna need a nurse, and I keep turning down my home health aid just because I don't want one right now. Now I'm funny about stuff, so I'm gonna cover my chicken in vinegar. I'm really funny about stuff. It might be a lot of vinegar. It is a lot of vinegar. Woo! I covered it. See? I covered all the chicken. And then it said to put salt and pepper in the water. Boom! Yes, boys and girls. Mm, 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 mm. Now, let me put a little bit of salt in there. Mm-mm. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And believe it or not, after this soaks in this vinegar and salt and pepper, I have to rinse it off, and then I have to re-season it again. So so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave that there, and I guess this stays in the kitchen from now on. I do have one in here for my laundry somewhere, and I am very upset. Very upset. I have to tell y'all what's going on in this lady's life over here. Why is it 10 o'clock and somebody's in my vicinity frying some damn chicken? How you expect me to be in here trying to live my life, and smell fried chicken? I'm trying to grind and take care of me, watch some TV. I can't watch no TV smelling that fried chicken. I want some. I'm like, somebody's paying me back for frying chicken at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I went on the computer, and I'm interested in learning something. So, wow, it's amazing. I wonder, can y'all hear that? I just hope I don't hear anything after we call 911, because the last time I did, why did you call? Well, why did you beat enough for my person in my house to hear and cry? The child ran to the phone to call 911. So what did you think I had to do? Oh my goodness! But I don't like that vent right there. I was trying to find me a vent cover to cover that vent, but I'm hearing. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. I don't want to hear it, so I'm going to my other room. It smells like vinegar. Lots of vinegar. Onion powder on the hefty side. garlic powder on the hefty side. Gotta be real generous with that garlic powder. Paprika on the hefty side. Missing something. A splash of salt. Vinegar sure does have a smell. Ooh, vinegar smells. Smell. I'm gonna put some cornstarch in it because I think tonight I would like that special bite that a cornstarch gives. I'm having peppermint tea tonight. I haven't had peppermint tea in a while. So it's peppermint for me Well, I should say to morning since it's after midnight. Mm. Mm. Delicious. Mm, 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 mm. I hope that chicken is delicious. I was supposed to put a little bit more spices on it because it says that you have to put spices on it and then you have to double up the spices by spicing the flour extra. But my pot has flour in it already, so I didn't double up the flour. I'm going to make a bracelet while I'm waiting. I forgot my chicken was on, but I was only going for about 5 minutes. I think this one is so pretty. Wow! Mm. Mm. I'm watching someone make these beautiful bookmarks. I don't know the name of these cute little things, but they have little rabbits and all these little characters and all. Oh, I don't know anything about that, but I do know that I'm going to sit at that table. I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight, boys and girls, because I am in my zone. But I think I want to try to figure out something to add to my freebies. Now I did mail out 2 freebie bracelets yesterday. Yesterday, I made about 4 bracelets, and I put a little cute little rabbit or something in some of them for a freebie. I put an air freshener in some for a freebie. But now I'm trying to think if I should make a bookmark or something. But those bookmarks are so cute. But the one thing I'm trying to do, I don't want to make a bracelet that is just for Valentine's Day, and I don't want to make it just for Mother's Day. I'm aiming my mind at Mother's Day, and I'm aiming my mind at Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is basically too late. It's almost February, but I'm I'm missing something, and I'm fighting myself to try to get there. But I'm gonna go back in my sandbox and play. I think this is so pretty. Ooh. I have a very bad thing that I'm doing, and it's not nice. Especially, this is why I'm so thankful that I will never be a massive person in retail, because I made this bracelet to put for sale, but I made it for me. I'm not supposed to think that way. When in retail, you're supposed to make it for someone else, and I have no way. I'm not there yet. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get there, but I absolutely love this bracelet. I fell in love with these flowers, so every now and then I'm adding these flowers, and I don't have one on for myself. I have the little cutie pies and little. But I don't know. Anyway, finish one. Mm. I'm trying to think. This is definitely not ready yet. I'm still hearing a lot of cooking. I'm waiting for the oil to go down in silence. I thought it was 12 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. Well, it's after 1. this is gonna taste, being that I soaked it in vinegar, but I'm gonna try it in a few minutes after it cools a little bit. I'm having a sensitivity issue with my tooth after I had my teeth cleaned. Not only that, I want to message Beverly real quick about something. Be right back. Boys and girls, when I say it's freezing in my room, it's freezing. I opened up the bathroom door and I opened up the window because I was dealing with too many hot flashes. But I'm looking for someone's name. She was so sweet to me. Shirley Happy Face. If you would like a freebie, frugalcards@gmail.com. Send me your address. I do not spam people, so don't worry about it. And remember, you don't have to take a freebie from me because, of course, don't feel obligated. Don't think I'm one of those people that can cry. I'm not. I do kindness things for myself. So you gave me a really nice comment. So I don't know if it's going to be a card or a bracelet, but I just had a vision to do something. So, and the vision I had to do was to ask you for 3 colors. That's it. Whatever the rest it is, I don't know yet. But I just had that. Tina, my girl, I need. That's right, Tina. I am so. Oh, I love when I see you on here. And Coral, I cannot wait till we have our ladies' night. But it is 1:28 a.m. My phone rang at 1:21 a.m. because I was supposed to go out to eat. But I realized I kind of knew I was going to cancel, so I canceled. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, I can taste the vinegar, but it tastes like it. Oh wow. Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Oh, I like it. And it has a tangy to it. Oh wow. And it mm. Oh, I like that. Ooh. Mm. Mm. Ooh. I have to figure out. Oh, I like this. Ooh, let's get another one. Let's get another one. Hot. It is absolutely right. What I was learning, it does make the meat softer on the inside. I do take notice of that. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, mm. Mm, 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 mm. I feel like eating a bone. Mm, 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 mm. Good. I still don't know what my hot sauce is. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Tina, I kept walking into that kitchen. I kept saying to myself, I gotta get this. This gotta get under control. And then I said to myself, there's something that I'm grasping in here. So I took a picture and I put it on ChatGPT and I said, this is what I use, how my kitchen is, and I can't take it like this anymore. And it basically said that it was clear that it was used, what I use on a regular basis, but that it wasn't messy clutter. It was a kitchen that's functioned because of what I do. but it's said to remove what I'm not using on a regular basis and put that up somewhere and leave what I'm using on a regular basis down. But then while I was doing it, I realized that there were some things I wasn't even using. A few days ago, I realized that I had some bagel seasoning, and I don't actually buy bagels that often. I say I'm gonna buy a bagel, but then I don't because it's too much bread for me. So I couldn't honestly keep it any longer. I've had it for about 2 years, and it was open. I did use it a time or two, but I can't afford to hold on to a food item like that, especially if I'm not going to use it. I didn't know who I could pass it to because I had already opened it. So I don't want to ever have someone say, I gave them something that was open and then they don't throw it in the trash, whatever, because I have to think like I think. And I'm not really, mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Woo! Mm, mm, mm. That vinegar was nice. All through the meat. Absolutely. No hot sauce. None of that. Mm. And the meat is so nice and soft. Just like, mm, mm. No more. Oh, I can't eat no more. Woo, woo. Mm. Oh, I don't like to eat. I can't eat until I'm full. I can't eat like that. Oh, I'm not getting out of this chair. Mm. I'm not getting out of this chair. I had to make myself stay and finish the portion that I put in my mouth. But if I was eating to be gluttonous, then I would really be not good. But I had gastric bypass a long time ago, and it's uncomfortable for me to eat until I'm full. I don't know what that full feeling feels like to other people, but it's really not easy feeling to me. So I have to learn. I have to continue to know when to stop eating. That is one of the reasons why I'm thankful that my outcome is what it is, because I could have really had a messy outcome if I did not learn what my doctor told me. When I had got approved for it, I waited, I think, a year or maybe 2 years to actually do it because I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. So I went in the gym and I was doing 4 hours a day. I was doing everything. But at the time, we didn't know I had fibromyalgia. At the time, we didn't know I had neuropathy. So I wasn't able to walk. I would walk down a corner, and it is amazing how much torture I was living in that I absolutely hid before society found out what I was living with. But I would walk, down the street, say somebody was walking on the same road I was walking on, I would look like a normal person. But as soon as they were far away from me, I would have to sit down and I would legit be hollering and screaming. And there was a time when I would walk down 6th Avenue that way, whichever way direction I was going, I had to walk that way because there was a bench in that park and I didn't want to actually sit on the ground or anything. But after I got approved, I didn't want to do it. And I ended up, like I said, going to the gym and everything, but I still couldn't manage the weight that my body was holding because the weight was contributing to my pain. But I kid you not, I had a wonderful doctor because he told me, he was like, he said, after you have this surgery, if you don't get out of your bed and work out, do not come back to me and tell me that you don't like how you look. That's what he said to me. He said, because I know what you're going through. He said, but you wear it well. So he said, if you do not get out of your bed and walk, do not come back to me and tell me you don't like how you look. But I kid you not, I came down 15 pounds day one of my surgery, and I was in the hospital 2 days. When I got home, I was in horrible pain. But when I tell you the amount of pain I was in the hospital, you wouldn't believe me if I tried to tell you. But the part that got me really angry was that the doctor said that when I come out of recovery, I would have morphine on a drip in my hand. So they put me in a room, and I woke up, and it felt like somebody had just took me and just joke. So I'm screaming. People, I'm talking patients, visitors were coming in my room, see if they could help me. There was a lady or two crying, because I was in so much pain. And then they strapped my legs down some kind of way to the bed. I clearly they knew I was bipolar before they gave me the surgery, so I had to take this medical screening, and that was one of their biggest issues. So they had me my feet and everything. So I'm like, ah. And then what made it so bad, I had to pee, so of course I peed all over myself in the bed. And then I already have this thing about women seeing me with no clothes on, so this lady came in and she had to wash me up, and I felt a certain way because I couldn't take care of myself at that time. I was horrified, and she did not properly take care of me. She didn't even look me in my face. She didn't have no bedside manner. She didn't have any of that. So I was feeling a certain type of way. But boys and girls, when I was like, "Where's my drip? Where?" And I was screaming, "Where's my?" And the lady next to me, she's in the bed like this, click, click. And I'm like, "Where's my?" So I ended up staying for 2 days, but I kid you not, when I came down to my 100th pound, I was already I got up out that bed within 2 days of me going home, and I was walking. It took me about an hour to walk 1 block, and New York streets not that long in this little town, but it took me that long. And when I got to my mother's house, I could only lay down, but I got right back up. We had a local gym, and I went there and I jumped on the treadmill every single day. And although I was in that massive amount of pain, the seventh day out of recovery was my best day, because that was the day I was able to get in the shower and wash for myself. But there was this cord in my stomach right here, and I didn't know what to expect from that. I just knew that around the outside was getting crusty. So putting two together, when they pull that out, that's gonna kill me. So I went to someone in my family, and she said, mm-mm. She put some type of oil on the inside of the tube. She said, mm-mm. And she put some oil on the inside of the tube. And I said, what is this? Mm-mm. And, so when I got to the doctor, when he pulled it out, he said to me, I want you to inhale and hold your breath. He said, and then he said, like this. And then he looked at me. He said, how did you take that? He said, I'm surprised you're not screaming. And I never said anything. But if I had screamed, I think I would have been in federal prison had my loved one not done what she did. I honestly would have been in there after what I had already gone through from the moment of coming out of recovery to coming home. But when I when I came down 100 pounds, I was able to wear a two-piece bathing suit outside, and it was amazing because I was humongous, boys and girls. I was humongous. You could put a glass on the back of the body, and it would never have fallen. It was big back there, but and I felt all I had in my mind is what I wanted to be, what I wanted to look like when I finished what I went through. So I was outside because my boyfriend was like, try this on, whatever. So I tried it on. I bought it already, couldn't fit it, none of that. That's why they say, whenever you're trying to get somewhere, get a vision of how you want to look to yourself, not anyone else, to yourself. And I bought a two-piece bathing suit, but I kid you not, for about 2 years, everywhere I went, people kept looking at my legs. And then I have this outfit. If I'm not mistaken, it's in one of these two drawers. I have this outfit,
I think Coral has seen me in it, and it comes to here and then it wraps around. It's a wraparound skirt, so I've had it for a number of years now. Normally when I wear it, I wear the top up here and the bottom a little lower, so everything is covered. But when I wore it that time, I wore it with the strap, with the skirt down and the top where it belongs, and people didn't see my face at all. They were just looking at my body. And this one lady saw me, and I didn't know she knew that I had the operation, but she had the operation, and I didn't know that either. I just know that she looks a certain type of way. So she saw me in that supermarket, but at that time, that wasn't Food Bazaar, that was Pathmark. And she and I have never been friends, not enough for her to call out my name and volunteer some personal information about me in a public supermarket that no one know that there was no one that knew me at that supermarket at that moment. And I'm inside so much that people don't even know sometimes who my family is, so when she's, hey, I see you had that, and we both did the same. Yeah, you look good. Oh, ooh. And I said absolutely nothing. She was clear as glass to me because at the time I couldn't even figure out what that girl's name was. Now I knew she had the surgery, but she has a little bit of habits. And I don't play around with that type of stuff. So I'm like, why would she do what she did? So I said, I'm not even gonna play in the sandbox. I ordered my food and everything at the counter. I walked away from the counter and just went home. I went home, and I kid you not. Now I'm trying to tone my legs because I've maintained so long, but I gained back weight because I couldn't walk for a year. I was in this house with this walker that I refuse to get rid of because I be on this walker from time to time in this house. Yes, I do. Um, I my fibromyalgia and my neuropathy was so bad I couldn't walk for basically a year. And would you believe that no one very few people in the building knew because I only went outside when I had to go to the doctor. I had my food delivered and everything like that, so I was basically house ridden or whatever you call it. So when I ended up not being able to walk, that's when my thighs started getting loose and like lumpy and stuff like that. So every day when I wake up, like now it is 2 a.m. I ate my little bit of chicken. I'm going to go in the room, in my living room. I'm going to do my row and ride for 30 strides, and then I'm going to put on a video, YouTube video, and I'm going to walk. Yesterday I walked 4.5 miles, and I need the space in my living room, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to get out some stuff because I had to do the walking back and back and back. But what I absolutely liked about the instructor that was teaching yesterday is that she did a lot of boxing. Now, my right hand is losing more of its ability to care for myself. So I'm not able to close my hand and do the weights like I want to. But the day before yesterday, I did do my weights for maybe about 3 minutes. And I noticed that when I was doing my weights, even though I didn't notice it at the time until I realized I might have overdone it. I had tears flowing out of my eyes while I was, doing my weights and I'm lifting and everything. So then that instructor was on the floor, doing the sit-ups and stuff, and I couldn't do the sit-ups and stuff because my gout is bothering me. So I tried, and I said to myself, I'm not going to kill myself. Hell no, I have to love myself, and I have to remember that I have to behave in a certain way to take care of myself. So I could completely got off that floor. I was, I can't do this. But my knees, because my gout has really been bothering me. So not to the point where I need a prescription pain medicine. I'm gonna make it clear because I'm not taking a prescription medicine. Not for pain. No, I'm not doing that. So I have to learn to monitor myself. So I had to stop doing that video. But the one I did last night, she was really nice. And although yesterday when I was doing it, I didn't realize I had tears rolling down my eyes. But when I sat down, I realized that for one, I was hot. For two, I had tears running down my eyes. But I felt proud. I felt accomplished. I felt, like I did something. So I felt good. So I don't believe the tears were falling out of my eyes for sadness. I believe the tears were falling out because I was fighting for something that I need to stop fighting for. And that means pushing myself because I know I can do it. I actually can't do it. So I'm trying to adjust my mind to the state of wellness that my body is in now, because I'm 56 years old and I live with fibromyalgia, gout, and everything else. I should be damn happy that I look the way I look, and especially when I take off my damn clothes. But I still know within myself that I feel like I can do a little bit more. This hand right now, is the whole hand is burning, and in my knuckles it feels as if I can almost not bend them. I absolutely know that I won't be doing. I'm not going to curse myself in speaking a certain way, but when I'm doing my bracelets, I feel as if that won't be something that I will be able to do long term. So I don't believe that my hands are going to be able to fund my lifestyle. That is one of the reasons why about a year ago, when the nurse was here, she did some type of testing with my hands, and she said I'm losing the ability to care for myself. That's why she wanted me to have the home health aid. I can't have the home health aid and be grinding at the same time, so I chose to grind. And that reason why is because she would only be here for 4 hours out the day, and that would be perfect for me to sit down and watch TV, have someone to talk to. But when she leave, sitting down, just laying in my bed, just doing nothing, it would take my sanity away from me. My head has to match my hands, which means my head is on a constant movement, so my hands have to be on a constant movement. So there is nothing that I found so far that I could treat myself to help me with my hands, and it is what it is. The only thing I know is I want to be able to bathe myself as long as I can. I was really bad off one time, and I had a caretaker in here, and she ended up in some type of disciplinary whatever because I didn't let her in the shower in the bathroom with me one day. And I didn't realize, but when they called and they asked me, I just answered the question. I didn't hesitate. I didn't think. And, when the person came out, I was like, I am so sorry. I should, if you have enough awareness at a time, you may say, okay, and you buffer. But it just fell out because I was just telling the truth. And I said, no, I was of wellness that day. And I took my bath and I didn't, but she was supposed to be in the bathroom with me because I have already fallen and fainted and stuff like that. I used to fall a lot. Girls and boys. I legit went downstairs and I put a greeting card in an envelope, and I wrote a note that I apologize. I'm handicapped, whatever, but I keep falling. And I was in the kitchen, I'd be in the kitchen doing something, bow, I'm on the ground. In the kitchen trying to do something, bow, I'm on the ground. Now, everywhere else in here has basically a rug on the floor, but in the kitchen it doesn't, and I was falling everywhere. But in the kitchen, I felt like they could hear me or something, and then I'm a big person, so I left a note downstairs. But guess what? This is how God provides, honey. I left a note right downstairs, and then something told me to go see someone, and I went to go see them. The note and the greeting card was taped on the door of the stairwell, so they didn't even read it. They probably thought it was from someone who like put a little druggie or what. I don't know what it was, but I took my greeting card that I didn't write inside of, and I took it back. But I did, at least I tried to be a decent neighbor and explain my situation, but it is what it is. Now I'm sitting here, I'm distracted because I'm on my bracelet channel, and I'm so happy with this. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. The only thing I can do every single day is just keep on staying with what's getting me through everything that's getting me through. But I'm on my bracelet channel, and I'm saying to myself, I'm I got 7 views on one bracelet video. I have 67 on another. I have 235 views on another, but I have a drop in the bucket of watched hours. So this channel here needs some mercy and some love, boys and girls. So I'm gonna get on my grind with this channel here. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Beverly, I was looking for you, girl. I didn't find you on the computer. And I know you sleep. I need to know, are you making bracelets like for Mother's Day or something? I'm going to try. I don't make promises, honey. I know you asked me about something, and I need you not to ask me for that on my YouTube, because I'm not going to answer that on my YouTube. There's a hustle and grind, a method to my madness, and I don't believe in sharing all of my whatever the case may be, because I have to take care of myself. A lot of what I do and I earn nothing. So the question you asked me, don't ask me again in kindness on a social platform. I'm not going to answer. I am going to put together a package for you. It's going to ship straight from one of these places, and I need to know if you are making bracelets like for Mother's Day, or because I want to add something in it if you do want it. So I'm a grinder for you, so please keep that in mind. But I have to work on a package for you now. I just want to know if you're making bracelets, so I can figure out, so I can make a little small package and you could do your little thing. But in kindness, I'm going to ask you anything that I do with you on the side of anything, not to share specific details, because I'm in a lot of groups. But the one thing I don't ask a living soul, to the best of my ability, is where they get their hustle and grind from. And the reason why, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you, is because this bag has my main source of beads in it. And I bought this wholesale. If I had gone in a store and bought this, I wouldn't be able to craft right now. So you're not getting this. I can't afford this. In order to order from here, my order is over $500. So I don't deal too much in retail. Now I do get little hustles and grind here at little stores and whatever, but mainly retail I can't, because I can't offer wholesale, and I can't stay within a frugal level if I shop mainly a retail. I can't do it. So in kindness, I will put together a little package through one of these things and mail it to you. But please be mindful what you ask me on social media, because I can't answer. I can't answer because, God forbid, this is the only way I can support myself. Nobody is going to give up all their tea if they have a good head on their shoulders, because when you are dealing with competition, you're first of all dealing with your supplies, and then you're dealing with the speed that you work in. But me, I'm dealing with my integrity. And that's why I'm not on any selling platforms right now, because just say I wanted to list on Etsy, I would have to add 6.5% increase to my money, and then I would have to add a base for my time. My time is not in any of my items, because what I'm doing, I'm going to do whether I try to sell it or not. So I can't put my time in there, regardless, even if I wanted to, because I couldn't feel good doing it, because I'm making bracelets whether I put it online, whether I share it on YouTube. I'm making bracelets. They may sit in here and burn if the house go on fire. So I don't have the mental capacity to put my pricing and everything where I'm supposed to legally for retail. That's why I'm horrified that I'm legally bound by these metrics, because if I was to get audited, they might lock me up and say, just saying some of the things that I say on YouTube could get me in more problems than it could help me, because I'm damn sure not a retailer. Legally, I'm not a retailer. You have to profit to be in retail. You are not in business unless you profit. You have no legal business unless you profit. I don't profit. So I have no honest to God legal by the IRS standings to say I have a business. I do have everything legal. I have it all. I'm grinding. I'm doing everything, but I don't profit. So what I actually have in truth is a hustle and grind, and that's it. And my hustle and grind is for my sanity, and that's it. Because whether I did this YouTube, if I had a nurse's aide in here, I would still be making my bracelets. 9 times out of 10, when she walk out the door, I'll be right there at the crafts table. But I kid you not, emotionally, I'm doing everything I can to get me where I want to go, because I don't want to be in this situation. I don't believe I was born to be in this situation, to be living on Portville Lane for all my life. I'm not one of those people that will try their best to not make $1 over so they can keep their food stamps. I'm not ever going to be that person. I know what money feels like. I know what money looks like. I know how money spends. So me, I don't want to be on prescription meds. So I'm working a benefit to myself that's going to help me when I get to a certain age. Because if no one can take a real good look at what they're doing to Medicare when you get of a certain age, and then on top of that, they want you on every prescription. Oh, you need this, you need this, you need, okay, I need this, I'm going to use this and get on this and figure it out, because I'm not going to do that. If I do, when I get to a certain age, basically all my money is going into a copay, into this, and then I'm not going to be involved in that. Absolutely not. And I have a friend. I have a few friends, and I'm not gonna lie. And when I say friends, I use the word because of how I feel towards them. It does not necessarily mean that that's how I feel they feel towards me. But one of the things that I'm getting real tired of is I need you to, I need you to, and I'm not saying anything. I'm not playing in the sandbox, but I had one massive explosion because I was tired of being here, 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 here. So what I'm doing right now is for me. For me. So when I want to make a bracelet and throw it in the mail and send my kindness gesture to my subscribers who's showing up for me, that's what I want to do. That's why I say when I make it, my followers, and I kid you not, my followers that comment, they make sure they know that they care about my mood. They care about my mood. So just this month alone, what I had mailed out, I'm waiting, especially what I mailed out yesterday, because it may not be a big something like somebody else would be able to send out, but everything I do in love. I pray over everything I have, even if a person is not a believer. I wouldn't know if they're not a believer, but I am. And whether I believe all the time or not doesn't matter. If this is what I have to do to get me through whatever I have to get through, I'm going to do it. Yesterday I was driving and the song came on, um, God Provides. So to keep me alert, I need my radio a little a little louder. Anyone who has syncope will know your radio has to be a little louder. So I'm in there, and I know I found myself at the red light, and my hands were in the air, and I'm just worshiping, and I'm just praying. And I didn't even realize the zone I was in, that the light had already turned green, and I have my hands in the air, and I'm just praying, thanking God. And I looked over, and saw this man looking at me, and then as soon as I spotted him, he turned his head around, like that. So first of all, he was on a public street, so you were doing nothing wrong, but I noticed that when I'm at the red light, I tend to pray, and I pray for everyone, and I call out people's name. I pray for Cora all the time. I pray for Beverly all the time. So when I'm praying for people, I use their name, because I've learned you have to be specific. When I look at Tina on YouTube, and I hear her voice, and it's so soothing, and I understand now why, a few people said they listen to my video before they go to bed. Now my video, I don't know how, because I don't know how I sound like it when I watch my own video. So I don't really watch my video unless, of course, I want to see if something was picked up in the camera, and if it is, I delete the video. I did a video yesterday, and I accidentally turn my positive day into negative by a fear that I had. I said, I can't have this. So I did get one view, and I deleted the video. So I don't know who saw the view, but whoever saw the view saw my potato chips in the plate with the hot sauce and ketchup. And if you saw that, please tell me where I did that, because I need that bottle of hot sauce. And speaking of hot sauce, a friend of mine came here, and he picked up the hot sauce and asked, could he have it? And at that moment, I wanted to jump up and say, a whole lot of words. So I just said, no, unfortunately, I really need that. That's why I picked it up at the store. I really, and I just, and this brand of hot sauce, I can't find it. And I really, and in my mind, it reminded me of what I see sometimes on Facebook. People say that sounds like a you problem. So I'm learning now. I'm not sure if that's what you would put in that category, but that's what it was for that moment. For me, in my head, I was saying to myself, that sounds like a you problem. But I'm almost positive I have more hot sauce, but I don't want to go and get another hot sauce if I have one open that's not finished yet. And I do know that in here, it is not in a certain state of affairs that my hot sauce is hidden. That's why I'm like, where? Because like I was sleeping a little while ago. So just say if someone came to my door and I didn't want to let them see my bed like this, I would just take my cover and put my cover across my bed. So you see my comfort and everything. It spews up. Can y'all see? Let me see. Let me see something. See my sweetie pie right there? She be sleeping right there. So I don't know where the hot sauce is. I don't know where the hot sauce is, and I don't want to go in my pantry. And I just rolled over something that sounds like plastic. Okay, and I don't want to make noise down underneath me. And I have this little rug right where my chair is to keep the noise down for the person who sleeps underneath me. But I'm going to say thank you so much. I got another something on YouTube yesterday with these little balloon, them streamer type things, but I'm still waiting for an alert to tell me what I actually did. And the last time they gave me that alert was when my watched hours went over 3,000. Got to 3,000. Now, that was about 8 days ago. And when I checked my stats, I was at 3,040 watched hours. But, boys and girls, you're not going to believe what happened to me. Yesterday, I don't know what I hit, but it said you don't have access to this account. And I'm like, I lost my channel. But guess what? I didn't flip out. Wait. Oh, my ashwagandha, black seed oil, ashwagandha. Okay. Wait, hold on. I gotta stay on task now. Sea moss. enzyme, and ashwagandha. And my vitamin C. Okay. I fell asleep without taking my ashwagandha, but I'm taking these calciums, and boys and girls, my damn nails are growing so much, and I don't want them to grow. So I was in here yesterday with the nail clipper, just clipping my nails. I forget to take my ashwagandha before midnight, but my emotional levels are even, and it's hard to explain that. It's really hard to explain that. But if anyone knows what those staircases feel like when you take prescription meds, that staircase is gone. So I had to just remember it is 2:06 a.m. and I have no business taking my ashwagandha this late at night. My ashwagandha belongs before midnight, but my black seed oil I take at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that's the regimen. That's the schedule I have to keep for myself. And now, clearly, I already been asleep for the night. So clearly, your girl is up. You don't see me yawning. So I'm going to check my one bracelet that I just made. I already put it on Facebook. But I'm not sure if I want to go and venture and put some stuff on eBay. Because I'm saying to myself, maybe someone doesn't want to use Zelle and Cash App, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm focused on. I don't want to add the extra fees, and I don't want to be scammed. There is a lot of untidiness out there, and I've read a report the other day that said that the handmade community is at a very large target because people are saying that they didn't get their item. Now, yesterday, in one of the groups, a woman was saying something about her mail, and I told her in private message to not put a return address on it. And I told her a little, just teeny bit, but I didn't want to go too far. And then I messaged back after she said, I'm going to have to try that. I said, please don't put it on the site, because there's times that people are inquiring about certain things in these groups, and because of other things that could come back later and somebody say, oh, Shay said this, I don't want to be in that type of mix up. That's why I said I have to be very careful with the things that I say. But I don't want to do anything on eBay and someone says they didn't get it. Even a $7 bracelet cost me something, so I'm already in the kindness ministry, because that's all it is. My heart is in a kindness ministry. That's all it is. And then to be taken for a ride, I had someone actually get back $11 and change, saying that they didn't get the item that was clearly I got notice that it was delivered in the mailbox. And I was so angry because I absolutely could not afford that refund. And they got the refund on metrics of just bullshit lying. And when I contacted the person, I didn't even care if I lost my account. That's how bad that's how painful that hurt me, that I went full-fledged and just went bonkers on him. And then I told him I was going to get on the plane and all of this stuff. And he said, okay. And it was nothing, because he got a free item. But I just read the handmade industry is taking a massive hit. So, and I know already, how that is. But I met this lady in Michael's. It was a blessing that I got in that store when I did, because she gave me some information that I can get into some of these sales. One of them would be $400, but she said I would make a good penny. And I gave her a pair of my earrings that I tend to keep in my bag for kindness gifts. Usually when someone says, excuse me, what do you do, when they see my bald head on my shirt and in my car, I give them, a little item so they can sample it and all that other stuff. But I kid you not, I am living in my glory days right now, being of sound mind and body. Every single day, I have to check myself and say, okay, I'm of sound mind and body. So, and I found a video yesterday Um, I found a video. I'm not going to find it now because I'm in my bracelet channel and I want to stay there. I found a video and it says that if you're the type of person that everything rotates around your mind and all these other things, and as soon as I saw it, I just clicked it. I clicked it and I laid on the bed and I started drifting off to sleep, but I was able to listen to the video and it absolutely helped me tremendously with how I felt all day yesterday, because it basically said that I am not crazy, but it said I have a gene, and 20% of the human race has that gene, and that how bad it is to live where a conversation you had years ago will recycle in your head on a regular basis. And it said that that was built on trauma. And just yesterday, I had to literally explain to someone that I'm emotionally disconnected from the human race, emotionally. And although I had to hear two people try to convince me that I need to go outside, I need to do this, I need to do this, and then I'm not able to get them to understand. And in that video, the man said one of the problems with people who have this gene is the fact that no one understands. And that is the biggest problem that I had, that no one understood. They thought I was whining and all this other stuff. So yesterday I called my mother and I said to my mother, I need to have a few conversations with you. I said, but I'm not able to control my sleep and I'm going to sleep. I said, but I want to talk to you about something. So she listens, and I'm thankful that my mother's listening and understanding. And I told her about the video and I told her all of the things. And then I told her that ever since I was young, what the video said is true. I could walk into a room and I could hear what people want to say, not what they're actually saying. And that's why I can't be in a room with a whole bunch of people. And all of my life, I used to cry. I'd go in the closet and cry, in the bathroom and cry, in my room and cry, because I would hear, But when I tell you the amount of times that I was in someone's home, and I have a very bad habit. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to keep it 100 because y'all know I'm a grinder. If I walk into someone's home and I see dishes in the sink, somehow I'm going to end up at the sink and I'm going to be washing dishes. It's not my intention. It's not my intention, because I don't want to come out of my own house cleaning and go to someone else's house cleaning. But if I'm in someone's house and I feel welcome enough, the first thing, my shoes are coming off. If my shoes can't come off, then I don't feel welcome in your home. And if I feel like my feet don't filthy up, and I'm definitely not feeling welcome in your home. But if I'm in your home and we laughing and carrying on, I'm going to end up in your kitchen. I'm going to end up washing dishes. I love to wash dishes. I love the scent of the bubbles. Dishes take me away. So I don't know if you remember that commercial, Calgon takes me away in the bath, or dishes take me away, my mind zones out. And so I don't know if that's offensive, but I do see on Facebook sometimes they say, if you saw this kitchen, what you do, some people say they would go to this thing and wash the dishes. And I'd be like, oh, I'm leaving. But that's not the truth, because I know I have literally been at the sink. So I'll be in someone's house. If I see the dining table look a certain way, if I have to sit there, I may just start tidying up, so it could be me. It could be me. But I've never gone into a stranger's home and did that. It's always been someone that I know, if they came in mine and did it, I wouldn't feel offended. So, and I had a friend that I legit had to do that on a regular basis. Her house was so untidy, but it was unable to be managed because of her spending habits. So she ended up taking her life. She couldn't handle life. And I really went through something hard, because she reached out to me while I was living in Florida, and she went and moved to Florida, and I didn't know she was in Florida. And I ended up coming back to New York, and she was in Florida. And then when I bucked up on someone, he was like, and he told me, and I suffered greatly, but I still have a Christmas bulb that she gave me. And because of her, that's the only reason why I like precious moments greeting cards because that's what she would give me. But the thing said basically you hear what people want to say. So I would be in a family's home and it'd be family and stuff, and all of a sudden I would hear a male voice, get the F out, you know. So I knew where it came from. I knew exactly who it came from because this person never liked me. All of our blood DNA life, although they never said it at the time or none of that, I was able to see it. So the video that I watched basically said you can read the person's face, you can read their eyes, you can move, and it is the absolute truth that I can feel it. So I was traumatized from young because I would be legit. Now, there's this man that raped me. I was a minor child. I was in elementary school and I was on Carvels on the ground. It was snow, it was ice, and this white woman walked by wearing this mink coat, and I was crying and crying, crying for help. She just looked at this grown man on me, didn't help me or anything, and I was legit horrified. So all I knew as a young girl was this white woman walking by looking at this black man on me acting a fool, and I'm crying for help. And as cold as it was that day, I can't see how she didn't just dial 911 and just give the address to where this man had me behind the clock Carvels. But I was a kid, so I can't reason out in my head. But as I grew older, if I saw a dog, it looked like that coat, I felt a certain type of way. And when I felt that certain type of way, I realized it was trauma. That's why even all now, I could love up a dog on a computer. I will watch a movie, especially a Hallmark movie, especially if it's a whole bunch of dogs. I could watch it, and everything. But have one in my space, and that's not happening. That's not happening. So the video was so transformative for me because it was exactly what I feel. And then I had to explain to my mother that because I feel as if I have to be a certain way around people because I know what they want to say. Just like Kevin, for instance, Kevin would be here and he would be so peaceful. There's times that I wasn't feeling well, so I would come in here and I would leave him in the living room. And I was so thankful that he respected the hustle and grind to know that I didn't feel well. But I would be able to look in his eyes and see that he was dealing with something. And it was painful, And then just yesterday, I was recording a video and I don't know what I was cooking. I was recording the video, but while I was recording, I felt him in distress. So I ended up stopping the video and I was trying to pause it, but I couldn't pause it because I wasn't going to be able to finish the video. But I did finish the food and I clicked off the video and the tears just came pouring out and pouring out and pouring out. And I was praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. Then I messaged him. And when I messaged him, he gave me back a comment. And then I understood. I was absolutely right. So I called Mary, messaged Mary and said, could you call me now? And she did. And we talked and we laughed and everything. And I was so thankful because everything that I felt and the unwellness was there. But then I did something else that surprised me. And I found myself in a state of being fundamental, if I should say, and coral came over me. So when coral came over me, I was using logic in my head that I normally wouldn't use because she would say, just breathe, just breathe. And Tina came over me because Tina would say something to where it would have me do what's best for me. And so all of this time I'm going through all of this and Tina's in my head and Coral's in my head and Mary's in my head. And then I remembered that someone messaged me on left me a message, whatever, on YouTube. No, in private message on Facebook, telling me how proud she was of me and all this other stuff. And I was just like, everything's going in my head at one time. And then before I went to bed, I picked up my phone and I text Kevin. Now, Kevin had messaged me that message, and then I messaged him back twice. And then he got angry and said, "Leave me alone." And then in that moment, Coral came to me. And all I felt Coral do was hug me. And then I stopped in that moment and I accepted the hug because that's what I needed. But I wanted the hug from somewhere else. But I didn't get it from where I wanted it from. God gave it to me from where I needed. So I didn't actually go without what I needed. And then I texted him back and said, "Please, please, 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 please block me." That's all I said. And I went to sleep. And when I woke up yesterday, I had none of those issues. I didn't have any, let me. And I asked myself, but when I asked myself, I heard Coral ask me, why does a person not block someone? Because they still want to have access to you. So I had him on block for a few weeks, over a month, and then I unblocked him. Then I started messaging, and I noticed that when I was messaging, the anger, the peace, it was a whole different dynamic. And I realized something. The comment that came to me when I was shut down from, it was negative. It was negative and it was sexual. So I realized at that moment that God removed the trash, like I said on my book. I changed the book to The Secret, and I said, God removed the trash. And at that moment, I realized that what I put on the front of my book is absolutely true, because God removed the trash, because I am no longer, I was wanting and all of these things, but then I realized if a person doesn't have access to you, it is a gift that you may not really understand. And I didn't understand it until I said, please, 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 please block me. Because if you block me, I have no access to you. But you sure as hell don't have no access to me. And I know one thing without a shadow of a doubt, no matter what my storm was, if he needed me, the answer would be yes. I know that. But I said to myself, laying right here in my dark room, and I will tell you this much, girls and boys, I can't even sleep with this little bit of light. I have to close this computer and get this little bit of light out. I need darkness. So I realized that if God took me out of a situation, why would I leave myself open to go back to the storm he took me away from, to give me the power to get where I'm trying to go and still say I need help? I was given the help. I was given free will. I was given choices and options. My choices and options determine my karma. In all of my storm, I had a blessing, a massive blessing come over me, and I know exactly what my blessing is. And when Beverly told me that she read the book and she couldn't put the book down, I was so proud. But this video that I was watching said that with and this was the one thing I kept saying when I was listening to the video. The video was like 3 hours long, and I was like, is there a job that I could do with whatever I have? And it says that the gene or whatever is actually a gift, and what my career path would be that would work towards it says a gene is storytelling and writing. And then it reminded me of why I get these ideas ever since I was young to write books, and why I love YouTube so much, because I get to tell my story. And I kid you not, but on my screen, which I'm not putting on, there's this licensed therapist, and she speaks on what people think is bipolar is not bipolar, and she helps you go through. And then it's a few of them, and then there's this lady who went through the stages of how anxiety and how people cause their own anxiety and stuff like that. So I laid in my bed, and I had to lay in the bed in order to zone in, to focus on what she was saying. So she has helped me tremendously, because my fears have been my boundaries, but my boundaries I didn't know were boundaries. And Coral messaged me a few things, and I was feeling a certain type of way, so I couldn't click them. And when I saw the word boundaries, I've heard the word boundaries all my life. I just didn't know what boundaries were. But then I realized, after learning through this woman what boundaries were, I legit have been saying my boundaries for years. I don't want no one's mouth on me. That's it. So I didn't know at the time that that was a boundary. But I realized in this situation where I would have been going out to eat, which would have been at 1:21 this morning when the phone rang, when I was making a chicken. If I had gone, maybe my boundaries would have been shifted. And I had to realize that there were so many days that I had company because I wanted the company. And then I went to bed crying because my boundaries were missed. And I know I know something's wrong with me. I don't know what is wrong with me. I do know something's wrong with me. I will get there, but I have no desire for a man and man company in a certain dynamic. So, and then another thing, I was with someone many years ago, and his pass by air, it's like dynamite. It's like, and I need scent, boys and girls. Y'all already know how the girl is the center, so I love scent. But said person left New York, and while they were gone, I was here grinding, loyal, everything, and the phone rang, and it was beautiful. Never an argument, never a boundary crossed, none of that. My mouth, his mouth, none of that. And then it just popped up that he's been in New York for like a whole 2 years now. So this person is so not having his life without me in it. So I'm like, but I'm gonna tell you what is a boundary for me: toilet paper, toilet paper. And he won't use, uh, you know. So I realized when I found his toilet paper that he ripped off the roll, the part that comes off the top where whatever's in the room is on it. So I found this massive amount of toilet paper in my laundry hamper, and I'm like, oh wow. So he just back to the basics, just pulling off. So now he has constantly said to me, do you need this? Do you need this? Because he's a provider. And I keep saying no, because I don't ever want to be with someone who think I'm with them for their pockets. It's not going to happen, because when I get ready to, I'm going to, and that's it. So now I have to say yes because of the toilet paper. And how that toilet paper got in there is none of his business. He will be funding that toilet paper if he plans on coming here to it off the roll. Yeah, so now I have to say yes instead of saying no, because that right there. Now, I didn't say anything about it. I'm looking at, what if I had washed my laundry with that in there? So I'm like, So what I do have to say is that I'm almost sure that you knew that was a laundry basket and not the garbage. So I need you not to do that again. But other than that, but I am so happy that he is no longer down south. What? And I was able to go with him down south when he goes to one of his businesses because he has to go from time to time to different locations. I was going to go with him this last time, and he was going to drop me off with my friend in that location. But I had to part ways with her, and I went through a lot going through that. And she recently tried to call me, and she knows she's blocked, but she's in a domestic violence situation, and she was out, completely out, and she had full access to place to live and everything, and she went back, and without saying anything, it was for things. So I blocked and moved on, and she has a key to my front door. So whenever she pops up in New York, she never has to worry about not being able to get in. And I'm going to make it point blank, period, clear. I'm not having no parts of domestic violence in any way, shape, or form. You were out. You had a place to go. You were safe. You went back for things. But I have no right to judge anyone. So I didn't have that conversation with her. Someone else would have had, girl, I'm not doing any of that. We are grown folks. I'm speaking of domestic violence. You were out. I was in a domestic violence shelter. My jaw was broke. I was in one of them action movies. And I landed on the bed. I tried to jump out the window, couldn't get out the window. Then he just came like this, and then I was in the gym the day before, so I don't know how God helped me that day. But this man had a knife. He was gonna cut a frame out of me, and I know he was going for my face. I know he was, old bastard. But I fell back off the bed onto the floor where the end table is, but I almost hit my head on the end table, but I was on the floor, and he went to jump over me. But boys and girls, when I tell you the girl was on point, I was laid out, and then my legs, because I was on this machine at the gym where you take your legs and you go like this. So I leaned back, and I took my legs and I saw pow with my legs. He went boom across the room and landed at the door. The police had just left that room when he was trying to cut me. I ran in the bathroom and I called the police, so the lady had to come right back upstairs. But you know what was horrible? Oh boy, I still can't tell y'all. Woo! But if they ever found out, but I begged the police department weeks before that to please let me get into a homeless shelter, anything. I told them what I was going through, and they kept saying all of the shelters were full. They couldn't help me. There was no help for me, boys and girls, when I tell you what I was going through when I lived out there. But the moment that he came in there to cut me, I told the police officer, he's in this location, and she said, oh, he's long gone, he's not coming back. It wasn't even 5 minutes that they were gone before my face looked like the side of my ass. And she came back, and she just looked, and I kid you not, if I had the energy, a good somebody by my side, I would have sued the damn county for what they did to me. They absolutely failed me, completely failed me. But I don't think I was in that situation that long. They took me straight to the shelter. Yes, there was a bed. There was 2 beds in there. Nasty, disgusting place they took me in. The girl was in there. I was on them staff. You gonna clean up in here? I'm calling everybody. They was looking at me like, because first of all, I wasn't having it. I said, y'all, get it. Everybody get up. I went to the staff and I told them, you are going to be in trouble. You are clocked in on the job, and this toilet look like this. And I'm in there. They got parents and children. And your children use this toilet. And then what made it so bad, I had nowhere to live. So the caseworker said to me, if I didn't provide safety for my daughter, they were going to take her from me and I was never going to get her back. So I had to send her to New York. Soon as this man broke my jaw, you know what they made me do? They made me bring my child back. Talking about she had to be here or I couldn't be in the shelter. How dare you make me bring my kid back to see my face like this? How dare you? You're talking about somebody angry, but I was like, and I was in a place, I was in a whole state by myself. No help, no nothing. And I was in there telling them, I'm not using y'all, everybody, and all to get in there and clean that up. And my jaw could barely open. It was broken, boys and girls, and I still, but you believe me, when I was done, that bathroom was clean. That bathroom was clean. And I let them know, all of y'all. And I was, it was real, honey. But when I left, I was in my apartment for, I don't even think a year. And then somebody from that neighborhood, it was in my backyard. So I knew what it was. And I was out of there in 30 days, back in New York. Back in New York. I looked in the news and everything to see, because I would have, boys and girls. But you know how they say sometimes you have to take something to your grave. I had to take this one to my grave, and I was only thankful that when I left, I knew I wasn't going back. I wasn't going back, so I will never live in Florida. I don't know what type of setup they have now to help women, but I can't live like that. Nope, I can't live like that. Thank you so much for watching my video. I didn't realize this was an hour and 25 minutes, but boys, it's just gonna kill my stats into Gloryville.